What's going on, everybody? This is Mike from the Last Corvette. So hopefully you guys are adjusted to the new angle, or will anyway. It just kind of works better in this Chevy Equinox, a little bit smaller than the Silverado. But anyway, a really good video, honestly. So I made like a group of videos about 4 years ago when I upgraded my C6 Corvette, my personal Corvette, to a Pioneer 1500 NEX head unit. And I made, like I said, a bunch of videos from parts to install to everything else. And even recently I did a video showing you guys how the front and the rear backup camera work on the C6 and obviously are driven through this Pioneer. But there is a slight little confusion or a problem. Now, I had no idea because I actually had to do a little bit of research myself to figure out what this question really was and why this person was having issues with a app called Waze. Now, I think everyone knows Waze. Most newer vehicles now have ability to sync with either Apple phones or like Samsungs that are running Android. So essentially it's either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And on most interfaces, you can either leave both on if you have multiple users with different brands of phones, or you can, switch one off, switch the other one on. It doesn't matter. Same thing actually goes with Pioneer too. You have options there as well. And you want to make sure those options are set properly through your setting menu. So anyway, I was kind of shocked to hear that this person was having issues driving his Waze app, obviously through the phone, because you have to understand something. All of these vehicles, unless you have like built-in nav on higher trim levels, all of them work the same. Whatever apps you have on your phone will drive the head unit either through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, essentially. And of course, all of them are based around phone calls. So you can download like Teams, WebEx if you're driving and you need to take a conference call, or of course navigation apps. Now, my favorite app is Waze. Right when it first came out, I thought it was a great freaking idea. It's a interactive, community-based app where you can be driving, you can report a road closure, you can report a downed tree or a broken car, or a let's say a police car sitting somewhere. I don't know if it's a speed trap or whatever, but it works. And it also gives you the ability to kind of watch your speed. Some of the newer vehicles do that for you, right? They automatically, with built-in GPS, that is, they automatically know, hey, you're going 45 and the speed limit is 40, and they'll basically tell you that you're going over the speed limit. So a lot of different ways can be useful, right? And I see why this person wants to figure out why it's not working. So I'm assuming Waze is downloaded onto his phone, and when he plugs in his phone into the USB port, which on Pioneers, on the older Pioneers, it was a USB. On the newer ones, just like newer vehicles, it's either USB or USB-C of your choice. But yes, I see the issue. So let me go back in time, and that's something that I had to kind of just research, honestly. In 2019, and I believe my head unit was built right before Pioneer made this change. So in 2019, Pioneer made a change to how they support Waze. So they said, we're no longer going to offer Waze as a app that is triggered by your phone, essentially, right? It's not a standalone, but it's triggered by your phone. So you'll have to download a secondary app along with Waze to talk to your head unit, right? Once again, via a USB or USB-C connection. So I'm like, man, this is interesting. So because my phone works just like this Equinox that I'm driving, right? So I take my phone, I'll plug it in. As soon as it's plugged in, I have my Apple CarPlay because I have a iPhone option, right? And I can list through, I can see my Google Maps, I can see my Waze, my Teams, my WebEx, whatever, right? And same thing goes for the Pioneer head unit found in my C6. Like, I don't have to open up any extra apps, or I don't have any apps downloaded besides WebLink, which was a very old app that's obsolete with most of the new Pioneer head units, and I haven't tried it in years. I actually only tried it once or twice. I made a short video, and essentially what WebLink does is it would make you, it would make your phone actually play videos. Like, let's say if you had a YouTube video that you had, or a YouTube app open. So you would download WebLink, then you would download apps into the WebLink, and then you could open WebLink. You would open WebLink on your head unit, which was like too many steps anyway, but I tried it. And then you could, let's say for example, play a music video. And I see why it became obsolete, because it's dangerous, right? And it was actually provided by Pioneer. It wasn't like some kind of a third party that did this. Now, speaking of third parties, we see all of these different ads about wireless Apple CarPlays or Android Autos. Essentially what they're doing is it's a module that plugs into your USB or USB-C like your phone does, and then through Bluetooth connection it becomes AirPlay. It's the same concept, same design that you would find on your phone, and like, let's say a Samsung TV. If you're watching a baseball game or a football game, you're at your house, you're at your buddy's house, and you're like, hey, let's watch this game. And then, with a pin, you can actually AirPlay or display whatever you're watching on your phone onto a TV, right? And some of them will actually go a step further, where you can like watch movies and videos, even in OEM setups, which is kind of dangerous, obviously. You shouldn't be, driving and watching this video or any other video. So I did a little bit of research. Right at 2019, when they announced this whole Waze issue, and I don't know if this is a licensing money issue. Like, everyone obviously gets paid, right? Apps get paid, manufacturers get paid, they sign contracts, they sign licenses to work together, basically licensing agreements, right? So there are some companies out there that, let's say, the only thing you're going to be able to use on their head unit is Google Maps, for example, or something like that, right? But Waze became obsolete like on a bunch of models. Pioneer actually put out a list of all these head units where you couldn't like even use Waze. Then they came out with a app, so a secondary app, kind of like WebLink, but this one was to connect your phone and the head unit together, right, to utilize apps like Waze. And I believe it was called Radio App 1 or something like that, or like App Radio 1 or Radio App 1. Once again, that app is obsolete. You can still Google it, you can do all your research online, but you'll see you can't, at least on if you go to like App Store with Apple, you can't see it. What's available now is a app made by Pioneer called Pioneer Sync. So essentially, I believe, I haven't tried it. I'm actually downloading it right now, and I'll try it at a later date. But for you, either if you can't play Waze, or for the person that left the comment on the video that I did, go ahead and make sure that you have Waze downloaded on your phone, and I'm sure you do. Then go to your app store and download Pioneer Sync. Set it all up, and I believe with Pioneer Sync, you'll be able to plug in your phone, open up the Pioneer Sync as an app option, and play your Waze through the head unit, right? Essentially driving the head unit via your phone. Kind of, too many steps, but it's always been like that. Now, if Pioneer Sync doesn't work with Waze, unfortunately, I think you fall into that group where either it was obsolete or it's just not supported anymore for whatever reason by Pioneer. So I can't tell you that, it's one of those things where it kind of sucks. And but yeah, that's really all I know. If I get time today, I might do a part 2 and actually plug in my phone into my C6 and see what this app is all about, and see if it gives you any more options, or Waze is available. But I can tell you this, my Pioneer works perfect. I don't need to, I don't have any active apps that are made by Pioneer. And of course, I can tell you this, third-party apps, none of them will work. They might give you a little option here and there, but none of them actually work. You need Pioneer, OEM stuff. And the only thing that I've done over the years, and this might help, if you go to the Pioneer's website, you type in, if you go into like support, you will get updates. I believe NEX received one update, which is very common after it comes out, a firmware update basically. And what that does is it's supposed to make your head unit run smoother, better. They add some functions, change certain settings, but I didn't really notice anything. I did do the update, and Waze still works fine, and it worked fine before that. But that's something to look into too. You need to make sure that you're running the latest your latest firmware, and I actually made a video about that some years ago. If you download it, you have to put it on a USB stick and then utilize the USB port that's connected to the head unit to actually do this update. It's all done through the settings menu as well. So let me know what you think, and like I said, if I do get a little bit of time today, I might try out this Pioneer Sync and see what the fuss is all about, and if it even actually works with older Pioneer head units.